Good afternoon, Americans. This is your favorite alien and Bubba on Wednesday, October 9th. Looks like it would be a nice cool day, maybe 80 degrees or so. Wow. Anyway, wanted to do a follow-up video on Miss Norah O'Donnell's comments on CBS Evening News of last night, where she had the last segment of the night was where Ellen DeGeneres and former President Bush, George W. Bush that is, were at the guest for Jerry Jones for a Dallas Cowboy game. And Norah O'Donnell was saying that kindness and civility, I guess she meant, between peoples is no longer around. Like DeGeneres, which you know, her position and her stature, and President Bush. They're like east and west there, as far right and as far left as you can get from each other. But and Miss DeGeneres, who commented that she and Mr. Bush are friends, even though they have a lot of disagreements. Well, I don't know about that comment from Mrs. DeGeneres, because if you have a lot of disagreements like that, in today's day and age, I don't see people being friends. They're just tolerate each other. That's all you do. Tolerate. But that only goes so far. There is no coexistence. And this is what I'm trying to tell to Miss O'Donnell. Where are the Americans? Well, part of it's due to your fourth estate, Miss O'Donnell, like I told you in my other video, where you guys politicized the news and took sides, either left or right. Hence, you got CNN on the left and Fox News on the right, and CBS News, who doesn't know where it wants to be. Some days it's there, some days it's there. It depends on who runs CBS News. Like in your case, Miss O'Donnell, the person that hired you didn't like Jeff Glor. And Jeff Glor was doing okay. Sure, he was still in third place, but hey, he didn't even have a chance to do anything right. Nobody gave him a chance. That, to me, is terrible. They gave you everything. Hey, they moved you to Washington, D.C., and this and that. See, that's what I'm saying. Look at ABC. They went through all those different journalists between the death of Peter Jennings and David Nuhr, and they had all kinds of appeals, but they stood their ground. ABC is the same as they were from Peter Jennings to now David Nuhr. They haven't changed a thing. Since Dan Rather, which was a disaster, and the CBS Evening News, you guys have done the same thing. You have Katie Couric, you've had Mr. Dickerson there for a while. Bob Schieffer was there for a while. And then you put Jeff Glor. And Jeff Glor thought that he had a position where he could get growing on it. And you took the rugs right under him. This is what I'm saying. This is discourse, Miss O'Donnell, whether you like it or not. And this is what's happening to the American people. Ever since 1960, your news departments of any news organization, whether it's print or video or radio, have gone political. And you indoctrinated the people to be political. Therefore, you got a lot of suicides, you got a lot of killings, you got a lot of people divorcing, a lot of family members that don't talk to each other because of politics. Can you imagine having dinner and politics and dinner? That never mixed. That's something that you should have outlawed at dinner time. You leave that out the door. But nobody says that. I had a couple of responses to one of my videos, and like I said, those two people, Miss Hines, and I forget what the other fellow's name was, but they were staunch Democrats. And their position was, the party line is first. Their position was, the party comes first, then maybe government, then religion, and then you. Really? Government should be number one. Then family, then your work, and then if you have anything there, Mr. Upstairs. That should be it. Until you decide what your priorities are, you're not going anywhere as a species. And right now, the question is, where did the Americans go? There's no such thing as Americans anymore. There hasn't been for about 70 years. Americans had gotten bloated because of World War II. They were the only superpower left. And for the next 35 years, they were indulging in the pleasures because everything else was destroyed. They rebuilt everything else, yeah. And then they're wondering why they're getting killed because they got to rebuild the other people, and now they're coming back and saying, hey, we want our piece of the pie. So see, Miss O'Donnell, discourse is a very dangerous thing to work on. And now you got discourse it's past the Kobayashi Maru. You're in the Waterloo on discourse. The United States is starting to disintegrate, and you don't see it. Just go to the states like the western states, go to California, go to Texas, come here to Georgia, and you'll see the disagreements they're having here. Because you got a Democratic congressman and Republican congressman, and they got nothing in common. Isn't that terrible? This is your favorite alien, and Bubba saying, boy, where have the Americans gone? Good day.